Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna be showing you how to actually build a medieval Minecraft house because I've been making some medieval houses myself and I want to just give you guys some tips that I've learned from making them. Let's get it on. Okay, so first thing that you'll probably want in medieval houses, you're gonna want logs. Logs are they're pretty important when you're building a medieval house. I like to use oak logs, but you can also use spruce or other kinds. Just I wouldn't recommend birch in that. You're gonna want your plank. So just choose a plank that it looks nice. I like oak wood. You're also gonna want a type of stairs, which is I use spruce for all my detailing, and also cobblestone, as well as spruce fences for more detail. I also use cobblestone slabs and spruce slabs because they're good. Also, you can use stone brick stairs as well as stone brick slabs because they're also very good in medieval builds. Alright, so the first thing in a medieval build is probably the shape of the house. So you're going to want to plan out the shape of your house. I suggest building it 3 apart or 5 apart. So either 3 apart, 1, 2, 3, or 5 apart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that is a good number that looks good and when it comes to medieval builds, because they're very odd shaped houses. They're not even, so you're gonna want it to be an odd number in between to make it the best result. Okay, so I have a decent shape built out with 5 spaces here, 3 spaces there, 3 spaces there. And then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to fill it in with oak planks. So I'm gonna fill mine in with oak planks. Keep in mind that you're gonna want enough space. You're gonna want the wood logs wide enough out so that the inside is like this. So my inside is pretty small, and if you wanted a bigger house with more space, because this is only 2 by 8, and that doesn't look that good, and probably won't be the most practical thing. But if you're just doing the outside, I suggest you can just make it this small. And I'm making it smaller than normal just for demonstration. So next thing you're probably gonna want to do is you're gonna want to build up these wood sides. I like building mine up 4. I don't know why. I think it looks the best. It's honestly up to you. And if you have any questions, make sure to put it down in the comments because I will answer them. But anyways, you're gonna want to build these up 4 because that looks the best, and then you're gonna want to fill in your walls. Alright, now that you have the walls filled in, it looks kind of boring from here. So you're probably gonna want to add maybe a door or some kind of windows. So you're gonna want to choose a place for a door. In my case, I'm gonna choose right here because this looks like a good spot for a door. And then on each of these other sides that are blank, you're gonna want to punch some holes in the wall like that or like that, just so it gives it some detail. Then once you have that done, you can make sure you have glass pane as well. I forgot to mention that. But you can fill in these windows. Alright, so it just looks like a kind of boring house from here, not really that interesting, but here's the magic part. Okay, so I told you to get cobblestone slabs, spruce wood stairs, cobblestone stairs, spruce fences, and spruce slabs. These will all come in handy when we're doing our detailing. So notice how it's pretty bland, pretty boring, doesn't really look that cool, but once we add a little bit of detail, the house automatically just looks a lot better. Even though it's not a lot, it definitely improves the design. You can mess around with these configurations too. I like to go this sometimes, but I don't like when that looks like that, so sometimes I'll do this. But you just need to be creative, look around, see what looks best, and I like that. So basically, it's very simple. You just have to copy that around the whole build. you know, with the slabs, doing like a little round shape around the top of the window. Just gives it just a little bit of detail that I think looks really nice. On the sides here too, you can add like that. So basically, we just copy this over. Again, just repeating the same process. Notice how there's a lot more detail going on here. On this side, actually, I think I'm going to add a flower pot. So to do that, you can just grab like a grass block or a dirt block. Just place your grass down there, which is the place where we hold your plant or your flower. I'll just use dandelion in this case. And then you're going to want a oak trapdoor, because that's, you know, what we're going with right here. And I just does that. Then you can just, you know, fill in the sides with your detailing technique. And that looks pretty nice. Okay, so now that we have it detailed all around, we'll probably want to like move on to the second story. Just detail this real quick. Oh, by the way, I like using spruce doors on these medieval builds just because they like fit in a little bit nicer. And I like leaving it in one because it just gives it a little bit of depth. Again, I'm just repeating that same technique over again. Pretty simple. Okay, from here it looks good, but I could say this is done, but honestly, I think medieval builds look better with a second story, especially if you look at like what the old houses used to look like. So what I do is I just put cobblestone stairs upside down around these pillars, and then we just stack wood on top of them. Again, going floor up because I think it personally looks the best. Now once you have it stacked up on top of each of these cobblestone upside down stairs, you're probably gonna want to put a rim of logs around the top. It just again adds some depth, makes it look better. Once you've finished that, you're gonna want to add you're gonna fill it in with oak planks. Okay, so now that you have this done, you're gonna want to put some more detailing. Again, pretty boring stuff, but very repetitive and easy to do. Okay, now that you've completed the detailing on this wood log shape right here, you're gonna want to put some more windows up top because it looks bland up here again. Now in this situation, you can add wood windows that look like this, or you can add windows that look like this. Either one works, it's honestly just personal preference. Just adding some variation from the top here. If I did 2 on the bottom, I might do 1 on top. It just depends what I'm feeling like. It's not building if you're not creative, so make sure to be creative. Okay, so it looks good, but we're again just going to copy the same detailing technique that we did here at the bottom, up top. Okay, it looks a lot nicer now. Now, what I like to do is, see this like empty space here? If you're doing the 2-block windows, you can just keep it like this, because that space is filled in. But if you're doing what I'm doing and doing only 1-block windows, I like to use our cobblestone slab that we got from earlier and place it down to just fill that space and give it a little bit more detail. Okay, so now that I have that done, it's time for the boring part, the roof. So the roof's a little bit trickier. It takes some time to learn. I personally don't think I'm the best at it. There's a lot better people at roofs, but I can give a very simple direction of it. Okay. So starting with the roof, you're gonna want to add like an overhang because it gives it depth. Notice how this is sticking out from this like wall. So on the bottom here, I'm gonna add like a rim of stairs, but just wait for it. Okay, so once you have this sticking out, you're gonna wanna layer it up like this. Make sure to add an upside down stair on the bottom because it makes it look a lot nicer. Okay, so now that once you keep doing that and reach the top, I like adding an upside down stair again, but pointing forward. Sorry about that. And then I like to add a stair facing the opposite direction. It just gives it, I don't know, a better look. And then you just copy this down in the other direction, bringing it to the same level that you started it at. From here, I'm gonna just copy what I did on the other side and bring this in one stair. Once I've done that, I'm gonna actually use my cobblestone slab and I'm gonna bring this up. The reason I'm doing this is so it just gives a little bit more shape and isn't like super boring. However, actually, first let's just copy this over to this side. Okay, so now that I've copied the same exact thing over to this other side, on both sides, I can start to add this bottom shape. So I'm just like extending it up. I don't know how to really explain it that well, but basically you just want to add like maybe like a little bit, just have it like bend upwards, if you know what I mean. Like see how it like kind of bends? Kind of. It just gives it some shape and makes it look a lot nicer. Now what I'm doing over here is I'm just copying this exact same thing over. Again, not too much to it. It's a little bit trickier than the walls. It's not as simple because sometimes you'll have different shaped houses, different widths, different lengths, and you just have to kind of like guess it out and make it just look the best you think in your opinion. Okay, so like once we got this, we just have to fill it in with our spruce stairs. So right here, I'm filling it in with the spruce stairs. Just filling it in here with the spruce stairs, make it look nice. Okay, so once you have your just base right here done, you're gonna want to keep extending this roof. So see how when you have this and this, how the stair goes like that and lines up evenly? If we did slabs on top, there'd be a gap. So we're gonna make it so that there's stairs on top and there's no gaps. But what that means is that over here, we'll raise it up because it's a stair right here. Well, I don't know, it looks fine, but it just doesn't look as good as it can. So this makes it look a lot nicer. And then we just do the same thing over here. Again, just raising this as well as here until we come back onto this other side and just repeat the same process. Like so. Now we're gonna move on to the second level. Right here we can fill that into here because this, if we do another one here, it'll leave a gap. And we don't want a gap. So instead we do this, and you know, that looks good there. So we can add that. And if we mess up, just fix it. And then we just again repeat it to the other side. Now moving on to this third level, this would leave a gap, and therefore we don't do it. Very simple pattern. Again, just filling this in, doing the same thing over again. Okay, so now once we reach this like last chunk, you're gonna want to look over here and see what it's like. So I fill this top in with slabs, right? But I follow the same pattern that I did here and then just reverse it to make it look good. So I did two like flat, then I went down one slab, then I went down another level of slabs, but this one was 2 levels, therefore looking like that, and then I have one last level. But that one's 3 long, and then I just cut that to the other side again. Now that looks good, and now we just have to fill it in. Okay, so now all roofs look different, alright? All roofs are different. So in this case, as we can see here, it looks kind of not, it doesn't look the best, if I'm gonna be honest. And to fix that, we might add some extra stuff like that to maybe smoothen the transition. Or we can just add one thing on top and then smoothen the transition, just to make it look not as bad. However, on this side we can just repeat that process over again. Stairs here, slabs here, those actually, and then fill this in right here. And then you have a pretty nice looking roof. And so now we're gonna move on to these like gaps. So right here, I just extend the logs at first if there's any logs poking up, and then I just fill in the back. Too hard? Definitely is a little bit more of a struggle though. Survival building is definitely a lot harder. So what I'm doing right here is I'm filling in with my spruce slabs to make the spruce the same level as the cobblestone right here on the edge. It just makes it look a little bit nicer in my opinion. And then there's going to be gaps on the corners. I just like to place an upside down stair there. And then on these wider sides, we just need to fill in this back part. And then extend the wood just like we did on the other side. If there's something that looks like this, it's okay. Don't break it. What we're gonna do is we're going to make upside down stairs, again how we did on the other side, but made with the slabs, but just this time it's just stairs. And then we just make it look like that. So that might not look as good because there's some empty space here that's undetailed. Why don't you just punch a window? You can just do that and then it looks a lot nicer. That looks pretty nice. And that's about it. That's pretty much your whole medieval house. You can mess with this design, make it bigger, smaller. I suggest for the floor, you can fill this in with maybe like spruce wood. Spruce wood always looks pretty nice. I know that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can of course substitute this wood on the inside for white wool. That's a good option sometimes. I'll show an image of it. So this is basically what it looks like if you maybe did wool as it. I know that some medieval houses had wool. You can make the bottom the wood, and then the top will actually show what that looks like. So this is basically what it looks like. I like this design. It looks nice too. But that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helps. If you did like it, make sure to drop a like. Maybe consider subscribing for more like this. Comment down below if you want more of this, or if you have any questions about it. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you guys.